So if you've got one of these newer pickups and it's got the puck system built into it like my truck here has, you're probably going to need at some point in time a gooseneck ball kit if you're planning on towing any gooseneck trailers in the future. My truck actually came with one of the Chevy versions when I bought my truck from the dealership. These Chevy ones are actually made by Kurt, but I wanted to go ahead and compare it to a more budget-friendly option to see if there's a huge difference in the way they're built as well as the functionality. So this kit here was sent out to me by the brand for the purpose of this video. I wanted to compare it to the Chevy one just to see if there's a big difference, because the Chevy is about 3 times the price as this one here. So when you get these kits opened up, first thing you're going to notice, they both come in a nice carrying kit. The Chevy one weighs about 7 ounces total more than this other kit does. They both have the same contents inside. You're going to get your safety chain brackets as well as your gooseneck ball. Now this is rated to 30,000 pounds, and the biggest difference between this one here and the Chevy is going to be the way it goes in and out of the truck. So on this brand here, it's got a push button, and you can see those balls go in and out, versus the one here that's made by Kurt or Chevy branded, where it's got the little lever here and you twist, and that's what actually sucks the balls in and out. So there's not a big difference between these two in terms of how they actually go in the truck. The biggest difference that I found is actually in the brackets. So on this brand here, it's got like a little pull tab here. You can see it pulls that pin out, and this twists in and out much easier than the Chevy Kurt branded one, where you have to actually take this little locking pin loose like this, and then you pull that pin out. So like one extra step, not the end of the world, but nonetheless, it's not as convenient. So let's go and hop up in the truck here, and I'll show you real quick just how this kit actually goes in the truck, and then you guys can make a decision which kit might be better for you. So if you've never had one of these gooseneck balls before, or you've never dealt with one of these puck systems, it's pretty easy to do. I was always used to having turnover balls on my old trucks, so this is the first time I've had a puck system, but I actually kind of like the versatility, especially swapping out my fifth wheel for my camper versus using my livestock trailers or any other gooseneck trailers I pull. So as I mentioned here, we'll push the button here on top. This will lock in place like so, and then that locks in. Now I had seen a couple reviews, because I read the reviews myself. I had seen a couple people where they had problems with this popping out going down the road. I don't really know a good way to test that without damaging my own truck. So what I decided to do, nothing super scientific here, but I went ahead and ran the jack up on my livestock trailer, because I wanted to see if that was actually going to be a problem with this thing popping out if I put a good amount of upward force on this ball. And after a couple attempts with my livestock trailer, I couldn't get this thing to actually pop out. It felt like it was pretty well seated in there. So take that for what it's worth. Now the other review I did see on this unit as well had to do with the chrome coating on the ball itself. So far I've got 2 trips and about 50 miles on this ball here, and there's very few blemishes to the finish so far. It's held up pretty good after 50 miles of use. I know that's not a ton of use. I did want to see how fast this deteriorated after a couple trips. So far so good. Now I mentioned putting these brackets on for the safety chains, how easy that was. So as I mentioned, you just pull up on that like so, put it in, you twist, you let go, that's locked in place just like that. So it is quite a bit easier, in my opinion anyways, versus that Chevy one and having to deal with that locking pin, especially in this cold weather when my hands hurt. It's a lot harder to get those pins in and out without having gloves on. But other than that, that's all I've really got for you in this kit. I hope this is somewhat helpful for you in making a decision as to whether this kit here at the third of the price is worth it versus that Chevy kit, which like I mentioned is about 3 times the price as this one here. So you guys make the decision as to whether this kit here might be a good decision for you and your truck and towing situation or not. That's all I've got for you on this one. Appreciate you watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.